Atomic Owl clearly harkens back to the deluge of Ninja Turtle copycats in the mid-90s, but only in aesthetic and tone. The developers at Monster Theater actually try to combine a few more recent gameplay ideas into a pixel art action platformer that ultimately comes off as unfocused and underbaked. I'm a sucker for an anthropomorphic cartoon warrior, and an owl donning a casa and wielding a katana is just exactly my kind of nonsense. Your main character Hidalgo is a Bladewing, a sort of warrior prince who leads a small group of fellow warriors who protect the land of Judah Nest. While enjoying a night out with the crew, the evil Omega Wing snatches control of your friends' minds and turns them against you and Judah Nest. After they leave you for dead, a whole 2 years pass by before you're awakened by a glowing, talking sword covered in eyes that begs you to use it to kill your former comrades and their evil new leader. As dumb as this sequence of events is, I'm the perfect audience to receive this kind of wacky melodrama. But Atomic Owl doesn't actually take its story or characters seriously enough. The fairly lengthy introduction left me with several questions that would not be answered over the course of the game. Admirable voice acting performances felt disjointed thanks to sections of dialogue that aren't voiced.
Hidalgo. Oh, I love me some good intentions. Now let's jump this goose!
Almost as if previously recorded audio was just left in after rewriting chunks of script. The core gameplay here does fare a bit better as a fast-paced platformer complete with double jumps, air dashing, and wall jumping. You can immediately switch between 4 melee weapons, a katana, a thrown hammer, a greatsword, and a whip, as well as some passive powers like a ghost bird that auto-fires projectiles and a recharging, ricocheting scythe weapon that also talks, sort of. While probably the strongest aspect of the game's design, there are still glaring issues with these basics. For example, I quickly found only the whip to be useful in general combat, but everything else felt very situational, like the throwing hammer being great for flying enemies, or the katana to strike specifically above you. But the greatsword is just bad and useless in all situations, and in the late game when color-coded shields force you to switch between your weapons, combat falls apart entirely, as you're better served just trying to avoid enemies. The strange decisions continue into the gameplay progression, which adopts roguelike elements like repeating stages and bosses, as well as randomized power-ups on runs, but there is no set method where you can expect an upgrade. No XP requirement, challenge room, or end-of-stage reward will grant you one. You can only hope to get a drop from killing random enemies, and sometimes the game can be quite generous, but other times you're stuck with literally nothing. And since Atomic Owl uses no randomization or modular level design of any kind, you will very quickly grow tired of burning through the first few stages and bosses, though you may begin to miss them as the back half of the game ramps up the difficulty significantly. Even as a glutton for some of the meanest platforming challenges games have had to offer, I found some of the later levels to be cheap and deeply unsatisfying to complete. One section in particular with a creepy gauntlet chasing you through a massive maze just filled me with disdain every time I had to retry it. Atomic Owl is an odd combination of action platforming and roguelite mechanics that never quite mix together in a way that makes a fun gameplay loop. The Saturday morning cartoon-styled story and characters got me excited for a cheesy arcadey romp, and the kinetic visuals and high-quality pop synth music do a great job of invoking nostalgic highs. But shallow characters, uneven pacing, and confusing design choices keep this bird firmly planted on the ground. Atomic Owl is out now for $19.99 on PC.